Guys, it's the 31st of December, and I don't think that we could end this year with anything to top this. Sitting with me is Mr. Victor Sutton, originally from Coal Mine Village, and he is 102 years. Mr. Sutton, welcome to Sana Trini for Life show. I say welcome to Sana Trini for Life show, man.
Yes, thank you.
I have been enjoying your company here so far after having a delicious lunch, and I just thought that we will share with the audience a couple of things that we have been speaking about before. Of the things that really stood out to me is the 4 things that you said could never be retrieved.
Cold, sparrow, past life, neglected opportunity.
In terms of rumors, how do you think one should deal with rumors?
Rumor is, as I would say, you have to deal with 3 important things. Provocation. First, some people try to provoke you. As you would said in our early conversation, you might have a companion, and that companion will be like nagging and nagging and nagging. That is what you call provocation. That provocation will lead to vexation. When you really get vexed, then it leads to temptation. It will tempt you to do and say things that you never wanted to say or do. When you don't say it and do it, then, boy, you know, you don't say it already. And these things lead right back. You get frustrated. It leads to frustration. And once you lead to frustration and you start getting frustrated, that is dangerous. You could end up anyhow, anywhere, because you're so frustrated. The least little thing will frustrate you. These things lead to frustration. Unless you could overcome them and overpower them. Willpower and self-control to overpower them. Ignore these things. Somebody try to provoke you, ignore that person, because they're just trying to get at you, to provoke you, to get you vexed. These are things, Sana, we have to guard against. These are things we have to guard against. And the best person to help you deal with these things is if you're in the truth. Because you have the Almighty to give you what you need, the strength and the courage to deal with it.
The persons that are spreading the rumors, do you think that you should confront them?
Don't confront them. Anytime you try to confront them, as the old people might say, you open a can of worms. Because, again, it depends on why they are spreading the rumor. Some of them have a different, everybody who spreading the rumor won't have the same motive for spreading the rumor. So again, you have to guard against confronting them. Because some of them, what they really want you to do is to confront them for spreading the rumor. They have the motive for spreading the rumor. And some of them wishing and praying for you to confront them for spreading the rumor. Ignore it. That's my advice. Ignore them.
Do you think that most circumstances, negative circumstances, Do you think that the root cause is jealous and envy?
Correct. That could be. That could be the root cause. You think in my life people never try to spread rumor about me and say things to get at me? I could tell you once we were linemen with some fellas where I was working at Mali. And a certain fella used certain words, he say certain things, I just walk away. And after that he told a good friend the reason why he said it. He wanted me to confront him on the matter.
Why, to give you a piece of his mind?
I don't know the reason.
Once bitten.
Twice shy.
What does that really mean?
Eh?
What does that really mean?
Once bitten, twice shy?
Yes.
Well, all right, if you going down, if somebody do you something, all right, they do you something wrong, that is once bitten, right?
Yes.
You have to keep away from that person. Never allow it to happen again, because you know they do it. In any time again, try to, when you ignore them, try shy, keep away. You don't give them the chance to try to do it again. Because if you confront them, you give them the opening they want.
What is the most valuable thing that you will see you have gathered from life in order to have a happy life here on this earth?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is the most important thing to live by?
I just always say, Sana, you have to think, plan, reason, and then decide. That's 4 things you could think about, Sana. Think, plan, reason before you decide. Because decision is a very important thing. One decision could ruin a nation, it could ruin a family, it could ruin anything by one person making the wrong decision. Decision is very important. By making the wrong decision, you could destroy a whole family, a whole nation, or anything, according to your position in that family or the nation or so, by making the wrong decision. But you have to think, plan, reason, and then decide. 3 things. Think what you have to do, plan it, reason over it before you decide on it.
Tell me about contentment.
Contentment is one thing. You have to, if you is contented in life, you're going down the road, you're driving good, and a man give you a bad drive. You avoid that collision, be contented with, all right, I avoid it. Forget that man. Don't try to take him on. But you see somebody, that is bad, you're not contented. And next thing with contentment, you're never satisfied with anything. The food you get, you're never satisfied. You're working, you're never satisfied with the salary. You have a wife, and you don't satisfy whatever she say or do. You have children, you're never satisfied with their behavior, their attitude. Because you're not satisfied. But once you is contented, things will fall in place. Don't matter, something might be wrong, but you're still content with it. You don't have to quarrel and something wrong, somebody says something about you. Be contented. Let them say what they want. Let them do what they want. You are contented. You know what they're saying is nonsense. Don't confront them. Ignore them.
Mm-hmm. What do you think is the key to a good marriage?
Again, the key to a good marriage is contentment. But as long as even one person is not contented, that marriage could never last. If the wife is not contented, or certain things she might find and she'll continue nagging and it's the same thing with her husband, because they're not contented.
Do you think communication is also very important in a marriage?
It is important. But if you're not contented, you can't communicate. How you'll communicate when you're not contented? Because if you is not contented, you can't have communication, because you will find everything you say is right and everything you do is right, and there's no sense anybody telling you anything.
If in a marriage or a relationship, one of the companions is constantly provoking,
Yes.
do you think that it may call for a separation or a divorce?
Again, that's why I tell you, ignore that person. If you ignore that person, after a time, that will stop. And if it don't stop, then you'll think about a separation or so. But once you confront that person, trouble.
So are you telling me that people who are in the habit of provoking others, are you telling me that this is probably something that is going to be very difficult for them to stop doing?
Again, it depends on the reason why they is doing it. Sometimes somebody keep provoking you, so they have a reason. They want you to do something or say something. Right, you could look at that as a reason for them to be continue provoking you, or else it has certain reason. You have somebody might come, oh, so and so and so, and always telling you something about somebody, although it's not the fact. But they want to put a separation between you and that person.
So the motive is to create strife between you
and that person. So you see, it depends. You have to look and see if you could think about what is the motive or why these people is saying this thing and doing that thing. So then you could know exactly how to deal with it.
If someone comes to you and express that they have been hearing rumors about you, but the rumors that they repeat to you are lies, what would you tell? Let's say, for example, it's a friend that came and told you, well, hey, I heard so and so about you, right? Would you tell that friend anything?
Nothing.
You wouldn't even let him know that those things are not true?
And I have nothing to tell him. That's why I tell you before. A wise old owl lives in an oak. The more he heard, the less he spoke. The less he spoke, the more he heard, Why can't we be like that wise old bird? Have nothing to see, and you'll continue, be wise, and you'll hear more than you should hear, and all the good things will come in place. But once you start talking, trouble. Just ignore. It's not easy, to ignore some rumors, but again, you must have the willpower and the self-control to ignore it.
Are you able to assess when someone is speaking to you if the person may be telling the truth or not?
Yeah, it depends on the topic and how they're speaking. You could, because they'll say something, the same thing twice, and not the same way. Especially if it's a long conversation. They could never say the same thing 2 and 3 times without making an error.
Within the same conversation?
Yeah.
If it's very long, as you say?
Yeah.
Or maybe on our next occasion, they may bring back up the same topic.
Right.
But they say it in a different way.
Different way. So by ignoring them, they'll be, because if you ignore them and they're really serious to get at you, they'll bring up that next time, that same conversation in a different way, but they'll keep coming at you. But as long as you're ignoring them, after a time, well, let me forget Sana, because that is a hard nut to crack.
Forgiveness, which will come back to twice bitten,
once bitten,
twice shy. If somebody does something terrible to you, they come, however, and they say sorry, and you forgive them, would you go back into like a full swing relationship with that person, or you going in cautiously?
Full swing relationship, that is out of the question. According to what it is. As I would always say, we forget that, forget that. That is that, and done with that. Forget everything. But to go right back, that comes like once bitten, twice shy.
So you will exhibit some caution around that person.
All the caution it have. All the caution I could find.
Things that happen in your home, do you think that a companion, whether it be a husband or a wife, do you think that there are some things should be kept in the marital home, or it's okay to call your mother or your father and basically everything that happened in your home, you're reporting it to your parents?
The only thing that you should be reporting to your parents or things like that is life-threatening things. Like if you have a wife and you continue threatening her and the children, that is things she should not keep secret. But other certain things should not leave the matrimonial home.
Where it comes to issues between husband and wife, do you think that you should deal with it immediately, or just forget about it and try to move on?
It depends on what it is, son. It depends on what it is. You could deal with it immediately and forget it, but it has certain things you have to, it will take a lot of time, a lot of thinking, a lot of planning and a lot of reasoning. That's why I tell you about think, plan, and reason before you decide. You think of what happened, all right? And you'll stop, you'll go and you sit down by yourself and you start reasoning over it. Then you could plan what you want to decide. Think it over good before you decide. You reason over what happened, you think about it, you reason over it. All right, you plan, all right, my plan is to go back with this person or leave entirely, and then you could make your decision.
Thank you very much. I have one final question for you, Mr. Sutton. I have enjoyed this time thoroughly. This 15 minutes has passed like if it's 2 minutes we talking. And this is my question to you. Is it possible for everyone to achieve a peace of mind? And if so, how can someone accomplish a peace of mind? Even in the worst of situations, how do you achieve this?
One thing I would tell you, if you is not contented, you could never achieve peace of mind. But once you is contented in life, it's easy to achieve peace of mind. That is why I'll tell you contentment. As old people will, contentment is great gain. Once you is always contented, you could always achieve what you want to achieve. But without contentment, because how you could ever get peace of mind when you're never satisfied? You're never satisfied with anything. You could never get peace of mind because you're never satisfied.
Mr. Sutton, I want to thank you very much. This is December the 31st, 2023, All Year's Day as we call it. And I want to wish you all the best for 2024, my brother.
Yes, thank you.
Right? Hoping that you're going to make it to the 103.
That is a very, very good. That is in the hands of the Almighty.
Yes, my brother. I want to thank you very, very much. Yes, Mr. Sutton.
Yes, contentment is good because you cannot have peace of mind if you is not contented.